Hello, welcome back to this episode of Speaking Specs. It's a super duper special edition of Speaking Specs.
Normally super duper is my word, Scotty.
Super duper. Matthias is Mr. Super. Everything's super. But what we have today is it's a little bit of a flow on of the Berlin or Bust series, which I am currently starring in. That's when you know you're getting old, as you make yourself a series to star in.
We make you famous.com, by the way.
Yep, exactly. And what we're going to talk about today is a little bit more of the details and the specs of the new World Cup skate. The World Cup skate is from our power skating collection of skates. And what that is, it's kind of a little bit the crossover between the hardcore race scene and the fitness skating scene. So you might notice basically what it is it has from, let's say, here down a race skate, but on top it features a cuff, and in this case it features a liner. So it's designed with comfort in mind, but at the same time being very high performance.
You summed it up really well, Scott. I think one of the things we noticed here that Scott is getting a little bit older, so his development and his time and his passion goes more to the products fitting to his age and body shape. So that's why I think he's really keen on this product. He's really happy with them and he's skating it a lot. And that's why here we have like a little bit of a line of development. So starting here, that was the first concept. We said, hey, we want to have a boot which is very lightweight, totally performance, but also looking really cool. So we went back to our, really cool looking power knit upper, and actually put some TPU reinforcements on them. So when the lacing system, you pull it, you have like pull straps and really going in the direction where the force is, wrapping around really nicely, and very easy and fast to close with this A-top system, which is easy. Just unlock it here and then you can pull it open. So very easy, very comfortable, step in and really wraps around nice around your foot.
So what that is basically that upper is paired on our compression molded carbon shell. So it's also heat moldable. So
which is all new for this shell.
Which is all new. It uses a new resin, which allows it to be heat moldable. So what you're going to do...
How many degrees you said? 80 to 90 degrees
80 to
Celsius?
90, yep. So basically, you may or may not have seen our YouTube videos already on that. But that's the first step where it's going to allow you to customize that fit and personalize it a little bit more. So it's a really high performance shell, Trinity mounting, of course. So you're going to get basically a racing skate shell. And this is one of the little details we want to look at when we're talking about the development, because this one here is actually the very first sample, the very first prototype we had. And when we learned, we made all these edges a little bit sharper. So as you see, a little bit moving down onto the development stage, is we actually obviously covered up those edges, making it nice and smooth and comfortable inside. So this is one thing that I started on this skate for end of April. So it's a good few months skating development and a lot of different samples and prototyping. And I've put a lot of kilometers on this skate because actually all my training sessions and all of my beating Matthias sessions, as I like to call them, has been done on a World Cup skate.
That's why I went back to a swirl skate, so I'd be able to, have the same speed as Scott on this skate. No, honestly, I was really impressed. First time I remember when we went out and Scott was skating in front of me, so I was drafting a little bit, and it was
That's
really
pretty common actually.
It was quite impressive how the skate functions actually, and I was impressed how he could basically double push and all the speed techniques, and how actually the cuff function was really flexible. So he didn't really sacrifice all his pretty good technique he still has, and still could transfer all this to a semi-racing skate. So this was really good. So he had the same push and the same amount of double push, and really coming off nicely with every stride.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that shouldn't be underestimated. Is normally I would have never skated on a skate with a cuff, but this skate, as Matthias just slightly demonstrated there, that's a lot of forward flex and forward movement basically for a fitness skate. So basically it's going to give you more or less your complete range of movement, what you would be accustomed to on that lower boot. That's basically sums up the outside of the boot.
Yeah, and then we have for sure the cuff, which is very supported, has like a bridge system. So it's really supportive on the side, so it doesn't give in. So really stabilize you in this direction and still gives you the forward flex, like you said. And then we have icon buckle, which is really nice, wraps around really well, and then also gives you a snug and tight fit.
So then moving on a little bit, this is something where I personally learned a lot over the development stages of this skate, is because coming from the racing side of skating, I didn't have too much experience with liners. And what I actually learned a lot with this development is the function which a liner can have on your skating, not only on comfort, but actually also on performance too.
Yeah, this was the first prototypes, and it was based basically on a second skin liner from MyFit. So it's a very low profile liner. It's dual sized, so it's stretchable on the front. Very nice, still heat moldable. So all the area here can be heat moldable. It's not too much padding, but really good and effective padding. So once heat molded or even without heat molding, it's really wrapping around your foot nicely. And then here we have like a one-piece tongue, also EVA embossed, and which is a nice thing for the speed too. It has like flex cuts built inside, really shapes around your foot nicely, doesn't have like a lot of thick and bulky edges. So really fits perfectly around your shin. It gives you all the flexibility. Again, same, so supporting the cuff function. So it's really working nice. On top of them, then we have a lacing system. And with a lacing system, you can already pre-adjust your forward flex, or you can give more stability and really enhance your performance, again, like Scott was saying, with a good liner.
So basically one of the challenges we faced was normally a liner isn't coming into a skate which is already tight fitting, like the compression molded carbon shell. So we had to play around a little bit with the materials and the amount of padding we used, the chemical sheets we used and things like that inside the liner to make sure we weren't sacrificing any comfort, because to be honest, putting a liner inside the boot is making the boot more comfortable than, let's say, a more traditional lasted upper construction. And so that was one of the things which we did a lot of developments. I mean, we have 3 different stages of the liner here, but it was in reality 5 different prototypes we tested on the liner. And one thing we actually paid a lot of attention to is the abrasion of the liner against the shell. Because this was really important, because normally on, say, an urban or a fitness skate, there's maybe not so much movement going on and things like that. So, or the time in the skates is maybe not quite the same like a guy going out and skating for even 70 or 100 kilometers on a Saturday morning. So we really had to pay attention to that over a longer period of time. And what you can see actually on the final version, it is a little bit roughed up, of course, but this is a microfiber outside, so really high quality, really strong and abrasion resistant to basically hold up over those longer distances. But at the same time, we've kept all the padding and things quite thin to not take away too much of the volume and things like that.
Yeah, that's, again, here we have a little spot against, the hinge screw first. We thought this will help. And then we had a wider one, so this will help, but it was too much. And then we had like a full, like a microfiber, which is really abrasion resistant on the outside. And like Scott said, a lot of the inside also changed too. Well, it still looks very similar to the first edition. It's a lot of different things went on the inside with different sizes of padding, different foams, and also, like he said, different chemical and heat moldable sheets to make it work really perfectly with this shell and with this system.
So, I mean, yeah, that kind of wraps up the boot, I would say. I mean, we don't need to talk in too many details about the rest of the skate, but the reason why we've chosen the Elite casted magnesium frame on here is because I believe it's probably the best marathon skating frame which is fitting this target group. A little bit softer, a little bit more comfortable, and a little bit shorter at 12.5 inches, which is, if I'm honest, perfect for me right now. Instantly, when I put the skate on, I thought, okay, it's not a bad goal to not only develop the product at the same time, but race Berlin with a goal to see how fast I can actually go on a skate like this. So yeah, a couple more kilos to lose, a few more weeks of training, a few more times beating Matthias.
A little bit less beers.
And make sure you keep watching our Berlin or Bust series, because as you've seen already, we've had a few different stars coming in. We will talk a little bit about it. There's a little, I don't know if you can see up close, but I do have a stride control in there. And we'll go into more details about that later about why I chose that on this skate as opposed to on my custom boots. And yeah, stay tuned for more.
But for sure, it's also coming with a TRINITY system. So Scott is still, betting on this one. And it gives him stability and a good control and a better power transfer. Thanks for watching and stay tuned and watch me beating Scott.
Not gonna happen.